Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right in your relationship, yet something still feels off? Perhaps he seems distant, or his emotions feel like a mystery you can't solve. Men, despite their stoic exterior, have emotional layers that are rarely discussed but profoundly impact how they connect with their partners. Here's the truth. Men crave respect, emotional safety, and validation just as much as they fear rejection or failure. Society has taught them to hide their insecurities, making it hard for them to open up, even to the people they love most. But what if you could uncover these hidden needs? What if understanding his vulnerabilities could transform your connection into something deeper, stronger, and unshakable? In this video, we'll explore the top 9 male weaknesses every woman must know, diving into the psychological truths that shape how men think, feel, and act. We won't just stop at theory. We'll share practical steps to help you meet these emotional needs in a way that fosters mutual respect and authenticity. This isn't about changing him or yourself. It's about building a relationship rooted in stoic love, balance, and emotional peace. By the end of this journey, you'll have the tools to better understand him and yourself, creating a bond that can weather any storm. Let's begin this transformative journey together. Share this with someone who might need it, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We're here to learn, grow, and connect together. 1. Men need respect. Respect is the cornerstone of a man's sense of self. Without it, even the most beautiful, compassionate partner can feel distant and unrelatable to him. Respect isn't just an act, it's the foundation of trust, admiration, and emotional connection. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. For men, those thoughts are often tied to whether they feel respected in their roles, their decisions, and their efforts. Respect goes beyond kind words or compliments. For men, it's deeply rooted in their psychology and sense of purpose. This primal need traces back to their genetic wiring, the drive to protect, lead, and provide. When a man feels respected, he perceives himself as valued not just for what he does, but for who he is. However, without respect, he can feel invisible, hollow, and disconnected. A lack of respect can manifest in subtle but damaging ways. Dismissive comments, rolling eyes, or openly doubting his abilities. Over time, these small cracks in the foundation of respect can grow into chasms of emotional distance. Imagine this. A woman criticizes her partner's ideas during a group discussion. Though she doesn't mean harm, her words sting deeply, especially when shared in public. The same feedback, given privately with genuine care, could instead reinforce his trust and willingness to grow. On the flip side, consider how a simple acknowledgement, "I really appreciate how you've been handling this," can boost his confidence and deepen your connection. These moments might seem small, but to him, they are monumental proof that his presence and contributions matter. In relationships, disrespect can erode even the strongest bonds. When a man feels disrespected, he begins to withdraw. Not because he wants to, but because his self-worth is tied to how he's perceived by his partner. Persistent feelings of disrespect can lead to frustration and eventually emotional detachment. For example, a woman who openly undermines her partner's decisions or mocks his efforts, even jokingly, may not realize the long-term harm being done. This behavior chips away at the very foundation of the relationship, leaving both parties feeling misunderstood and isolated. Respect starts with recognition. It's about acknowledging his efforts, big or small, and letting him know that they don't go unnoticed. The next time he shares an idea or talks about his day, resist the urge to interrupt or offer advice immediately. Instead, ask questions like, "What inspired that idea?" or "How did that make you feel?" These small gestures show that his voice matters. Address conflicts or concerns in private rather than in front of others. This preserves his dignity and creates a space for constructive dialogue. Appreciate the small things, such as how he handles responsibilities without being asked or supports you in tough times. A simple "thank you" can go a long way. Trusting his judgment doesn't mean agreeing with everything, but it does mean valuing his perspective. Even if you have doubts, approach disagreements with grace instead of criticism. The Stoics teach us that respect is not earned through control or dominance, but through balance and mutual understanding. Epictetus wisely observed, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This philosophy aligns perfectly with the idea of respect in relationships. Listening to understand, not to respond. A relationship rooted in respect fosters a positive feedback loop. When you show him respect, he feels valued and inspired to reciprocate, creating a dynamic of mutual admiration. Over time, this bond becomes unshakable, no matter what challenges arise. Ask yourself, how often do you appreciate the little things he does for you? When was the last time you truly listened without interrupting? Do your words uplift him, or could they be unintentionally critical? Take one small step today. Acknowledge something he does well, or thank him for his support. These simple acts can rebuild bridges, strengthen bonds, and foster a relationship where both partners feel respected and cherished. As you reflect, remember, respect is a choice, not an obligation. It's the choice to see the value in someone, even in their imperfections. By embracing this mindset, you not only nurture his emotional well-being, but also create a partnership rooted in the timeless values of Stoic love, balance, and mutual growth. 2. Emotional safety matters. Imagine this: your partner opens up about a mistake at work. His tone is hesitant, his shoulders slightly hunched as if bracing for judgment. How you respond in this moment matters more than you might realize. Instead of rushing to offer a solution or unintentionally dismissing his feelings, take a breath and say, "That must have been tough. I'm here for you." These words, simple yet powerful, can create a space where he feels understood, not judged, a space where emotional safety thrives. Men, despite their stoic exterior, carry emotional vulnerabilities that often go unnoticed. Society has conditioned them to man up, to hide their insecurities and project strength at all costs. Yet beneath this armor lies a profound need for connection and understanding. Without emotional safety, even the most confident man can retreat into silence, hiding parts of himself that he desperately wishes to share. Emotional safety isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's the invisible thread that weaves trust, intimacy, and authenticity into the fabric of a relationship. Without it, misunderstandings grow, walls are built, and connections weaken. For men, this safety is not about being free from accountability, but about knowing they can share their fears and dreams without fear of rejection or ridicule. The philosopher Epictetus reminds us, we have no power over external things, but our mind is our own. For a man to truly share his mind, he needs to know that his partner respects his inner world. This respect is not demonstrated by solving his problems, but by standing with him in his vulnerability. Creating emotional safety begins with listening. The next time he shares something personal, resist the urge to interject with advice or solutions. Instead, focus on understanding. Ask questions like, "How did that make you feel?" Or, "What do you think you need right now?" These open-ended questions show that you value his emotions and trust his ability to navigate his challenges. Equally important is sharing your own emotions. Vulnerability is a two-way street. When you let him see your struggles, your fears, and even your tears, you invite him to do the same. By saying, "I trust you enough to show you my pain," you create a space where his emotions are welcome too. But let's be clear, emotional safety does not mean excusing disrespect or avoiding difficult conversations. It's about balancing compassion with accountability. If he knows that you'll stand by him even when he falters, he'll be more willing to confront his flaws and work on them. This balance of grace and honesty is what creates a partnership of mutual growth. Think back to the example of the mistake at work. Imagine responding with frustration or dismissiveness. "Why didn't you just do it this way?" Such reactions, even when unintended, can shut him down, reinforcing his fear of being vulnerable. Contrast that with a response of empathy. "I can see how much this is weighing on you. Let's talk about it." The difference is profound, transforming a moment of pain into a moment of connection. Physical gestures can also foster emotional safety. A hand on his shoulder during a difficult conversation, a reassuring hug after a tough day. These acts of affection communicate support in ways words cannot. They tell him, "I'm here, no matter what." Emotional safety is a practice, not a one-time achievement. It requires patience, intentionality, and self-awareness. But the rewards are immeasurable. When a man feels emotionally safe, he is more likely to trust, to share, and to connect deeply. The walls come down and the relationship becomes a place of refuge rather than a battlefield. As you navigate this journey, Remember that your presence matters more than your solutions. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give is simply to sit with him in his silence, offering nothing but your understanding. In doing so, you build not only his confidence, but also a bond that can withstand life's toughest storms. Emotional safety is where love flourishes, where respect deepens, and where relationships grow stronger, one moment at a time. 3. They want to feel needed. Imagine this. Your faucet is leaking, and you ask your partner for help. As he tightens the wrench and fixes the issue, there's a subtle yet unmistakable change in his demeanor, his posture straighter, his expression more confident. This isn't just about the faucet, it's about something much deeper. Men thrive when they feel needed. It reaffirms their purpose, strengthens their confidence, and deepens their connection to those they care about. For centuries, men have been wired to provide and protect. This isn't a stereotype, but a truth deeply embedded in their psychology. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." For many men, those ambitions are tied to their ability to contribute meaningfully to the lives of others. When they feel their efforts are valued, it fuels their sense of identity and purpose. However, this need to feel needed doesn't mean men want dependency. On the contrary, they admire and respect independence in a partner. But even the most self-assured man finds fulfillment in being someone you can rely on. It's not about grand gestures, but the everyday moments where their strengths shine. Consider the times you've asked for his help, carrying heavy groceries, solving a problem, or offering advice. These requests, though seemingly minor, hold significant meaning. They tell him, "I trust you. I value your presence in my life." This validation isn't just about inflating his ego, it's about reinforcing the bond between you. Conversely, dismissing his contributions or handling everything on your own can unintentionally send the message that his efforts don't matter. Over time, this can lead to feelings of inadequacy or detachment. Men may not always voice this, but the absence of opportunities to contribute can leave them feeling unseen and undervalued. To foster this sense of being needed, start by recognizing his strengths. Maybe he's great at fixing things, planning trips, or making you laugh during stressful times. Highlight these qualities not as obligations but as gifts he brings to your life. Let him know how much you appreciate the way he shows up for you. For example, if he helps you with a challenging task, take a moment to say, "I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you." These words, simple as they are, carry immense weight. They remind him that his efforts make a difference and that he holds a vital place in your world. Creating a balance between independence and interdependence is key. It's not about pretending to need help when you don't. That's neither sustainable nor genuine. Instead, it's about inviting him into your life in ways that allow his strengths to shine. This could mean asking for his opinion on a decision you're making, or involving him in something you're passionate about. Seneca wrote, "No man was ever wise by chance." Wisdom, like connection, comes through intention and effort. Building a relationship where both partners feel valued requires the same. When you ask for his help or acknowledge his efforts, you're not just meeting his emotional need to feel needed, you're strengthening the trust and partnership between you. Think about the small ways you can include him in your life. Perhaps it's letting him take the lead on a project, or asking for his insight when you're facing a challenge. These gestures are not about dependence, but about partnership, about creating a dynamic where both of you contribute and grow together. When men feel needed, they're not just more confident, they're more connected. They invest more deeply in the relationship because they see their place in it as meaningful and irreplaceable. This feeling inspires them to show up not just as providers, but as partners who are fully present, engaged, and committed. As you navigate this, remember, it's the small moments that matter most. A kind word of appreciation, a heartfelt thank you, or simply letting him know that his presence makes a difference can transform how he sees himself and the relationship. These actions, rooted in respect and authenticity, foster a connection built to last. A bond where both partners feel valued, needed, and deeply loved. 4. Be a partner in difficult times. Difficult times reveal the strength of a partnership. When life's challenges arise, standing by his side is more than an act of love. It's a declaration of trust and loyalty. As Seneca wisely said, fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. In the same way, adversity tests the resilience of a relationship. Men often feel the weight of responsibility during hardships, whether it's work-related stress, family issues, or personal setbacks. Society has conditioned them to bear these burdens silently, hiding vulnerability behind a stoic facade. Yet beneath the surface, they long for reassurance that they're not alone. Imagine this scenario. He's overwhelmed with stress at work, unsure of how to navigate the pressure. Instead of offering quick fixes or pointing out potential solutions, you take a moment to say, "I believe in you. No matter what happens, we'll get through this together." These words, paired with unwavering support, can transform his perspective. Suddenly, the weight he's carrying feels lighter because he knows he's not shouldering it alone. Being a partner in difficult times doesn't mean solving all his problems. It means offering emotional stability and standing as a pillar of strength when he feels his foundation shaking. It's about listening without judgment, allowing him to express his fears and frustrations without fear of criticism. This support can also manifest in small, practical gestures. If he's working late hours to meet a deadline, consider preparing his favorite meal or leaving him a note that says, "I see how hard you're working. I'm proud of you." These acts, though seemingly small, speak volumes. They remind him that his efforts are seen and appreciated. At the same time, it's essential to balance empathy with encouragement. Being a partner in hard times isn't about coddling, it's about inspiring resilience. If he feels stuck, gently remind him of his strengths. Share stories of times he's overcome challenges in the past, reinforcing his belief in his own capabilities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Helping him see this truth can be one of the greatest gifts you offer. When he feels powerless, your steady presence can guide him back to the inner strength he sometimes forgets he possesses. In some cases, supporting him might mean stepping back and allowing him space to process his emotions. Men often retreat inward during periods of stress, not because they don't trust you, but because they're working through their thoughts in solitude. Respecting this need for space while still offering a consistent presence shows understanding and patience, qualities that foster emotional closeness. However, being a partner in tough times also requires setting boundaries when necessary. Support doesn't mean enabling self-destructive behaviors or tolerating disrespect. If he's lashing out due to stress, calmly but firmly address the behavior. "I understand you're going through a lot, but let's find a better way to communicate." This balance of compassion and accountability strengthens both the relationship and his ability to navigate challenges constructively. Consider a moment in history when great partnerships faced adversity. Think of Seneca and his mentorship of Emperor Nero, guiding him through the complexities of leadership despite immense pressure. While Nero ultimately faltered, Seneca's unwavering dedication serves as a timeless reminder of what it means to stand by someone with wisdom and integrity. When you support your partner during difficult times, you're not just helping him, you're fortifying the foundation of your relationship. These shared struggles, when navigated together, create bonds that are unbreakable. The trust and closeness forged in hardship often lead to a deeper understanding of each other's strengths and vulnerabilities. As you walk this path with him, remember that your role isn't to carry his burdens, but to help him rediscover the strength to carry them himself. In doing so, you create a partnership rooted in trust, resilience, and unwavering love. Together, you face life's challenges as a team, embodying the timeless principles of Stoic love, balance, loyalty, and mutual respect. 5. Ambition inspires admiration. Picture this. Your partner comes home and shares that he's been recognized for a project he's worked tirelessly on. You smile and say, "That's great," before moving on to discuss your day. While your response might seem neutral, imagine the difference if you paused, looked him in the eye, and said, "That's incredible. I know how hard you've worked for this. I'm so proud of you." Ambition is a driving force for men. It gives them purpose and direction, shaping their identity and how they view their contributions to the world. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." For a man, ambition is an outward reflection of his inner strength, a way to test his limits and leave his mark. When his efforts are acknowledged, especially by his partner, it fuels his confidence and deepens his connection to the relationship. Conversely, when his ambition is overlooked or dismissed, it can feel as though his purpose is being diminished. This doesn't mean celebrating only grand achievements. It's often the recognition of small victories that truly inspires him. Think about the moments he's gone above and beyond, whether at work, with family, or in your relationship. Did you take the time to notice? For example, if he stayed late at the office to secure a deal or helped a neighbor in need, these acts reflect his drive to contribute and grow. Recognizing these efforts strengthens his belief that his ambition is meaningful not just for him, but for the partnership you share. Admiring his ambition doesn't mean blindly praising every decision. True admiration involves understanding his goals and supporting him in pursuing them, while also encouraging balance. If his work-life balance begins to tip too far, gentle reminders rooted in care can guide him back. I see how hard you're working, and I admire your dedication. Don't forget to take time for yourself. You deserve it. In addition to verbal affirmation, showing admiration can take other forms. Participate in his journey by asking thoughtful questions about his goals. For example, what's the next step in your project? Or what's your vision for the future? These conversations demonstrate your genuine interest and investment in his success. The Stoics teach that ambition tempered with virtue is the path to fulfillment. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Helping him align his ambition with his purpose ensures that his drive doesn't become a source of stress, but a tool for growth and contribution. Sometimes, ambition brings setbacks, and this is where your support matters most. If he faces rejection or failure, resist the urge to downplay it or rush to solutions. Instead, validate his feelings and remind him of his resilience. "This didn't go as planned, but I know how determined you are. You'll find a way forward." These moments of reassurance can reignite his belief in himself and in the partnership. Remember, admiration isn't about idolizing his ambition, but fostering a relationship where both partners inspire each other to grow. Share your own goals and invite him to be a part of them. This mutual exchange of aspirations creates a dynamic where success is celebrated together and challenges are faced as a team. As you reflect on his ambition, consider the ways you can nurture it without losing sight of the bigger picture. Let him know that his efforts, no matter how big or small, make a difference. Celebrate the journey, not just the milestones, and remind him that his ambition is a gift, not just for himself, but for the world and the relationship you're building together. In the end, admiration for ambition is about seeing him for who he is and who he strives to be. It's about being his partner in growth, cheering him on from the sidelines, and walking beside him when the road gets tough. Together, you create a bond where ambition is not a solo pursuit, but a shared journey, grounded in respect, love, and purpose. 6. Men respect boundaries. Boundaries are the unseen lines that define respect, self-worth, and emotional safety in a relationship. For men, clear and healthy boundaries are not a limitation. They are a sign of strength and self-respect. As Epictetus once said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." In relationships, boundaries reflect who you are, what you value, and how you wish to be treated. Imagine this scenario. Your partner comes home late repeatedly without informing you, leaving you feeling unacknowledged. Instead of bottling up your frustration, you calmly address it. "I understand work has been hectic, but I feel hurt when I don't hear from you. Can we agree to communicate better when plans change?" This simple yet assertive statement sets a boundary rooted in mutual respect and care. Men admire boundaries because they demonstrate self-respect. A partner who knows her worth encourages him to reflect on his own values and actions. When boundaries are communicated with grace and clarity, they foster a deeper connection rather than creating distance. They are not about control, but about establishing a shared understanding of what matters in the relationship. However, boundaries are not just about saying no. They're also about saying yes to the things that align with your values. For example, if you value quality time together, expressing that as a priority strengthens the bond. I'd love for us to plan a night just for the two of us this week. It's important to me to have that time with you. Statements like this communicate your needs without blame or demand, encouraging a collaborative approach to meeting each other's expectations. At the same time, respecting his boundaries is equally essential. If he needs time to decompress after a long day or values solitude as part of his routine, honoring that space shows your understanding of his individuality. Relationships thrive when both partners respect each other's personal needs and preferences. Seneca reminds us, "He who is brave is free." Setting boundaries requires bravery. It might feel uncomfortable to address sensitive topics, but doing so with honesty and kindness leads to freedom. Freedom from resentment, miscommunication, and unmet expectations. Boundaries create clarity, and clarity strengthens trust. There are times, however, when boundaries are tested. Imagine he reacts defensively to your request for better communication. Instead of escalating the situation, maintain your composure and reiterate your intentions. "I'm not trying to criticize, I just want us to feel connected, even when things get busy." This approach reinforces your boundary while showing empathy for his perspective. Boundaries also play a critical role in resolving conflicts. For instance, if disagreements turn into heated arguments, a boundary might be, "I need us to pause this conversation if it becomes disrespectful. Let's revisit it when we're both calmer." This not only sets a standard for respectful communication, but also protects the relationship from unnecessary harm. Practical actions reinforce boundaries in daily life. If you've set a limit around phone-free dinners, gently remind him when the boundary is crossed. "I really appreciate when we both stay present during meals. Can we put our phones away while we eat?" These small but consistent reminders build habits of mutual respect over time. Boundaries aren't barriers, they're bridges to understanding and trust. They create a safe space where both partners can express their needs and grow together. When men see that you value yourself enough to set boundaries, they are inspired to rise to the occasion, to meet you with the same level of respect and care. As you navigate boundaries in your relationship, remember that they are acts of love, not just for yourself, but for the partnership. They show that you care enough to communicate openly, to honor both your needs and his, and to build a relationship where mutual respect is the foundation. Through boundaries, you create a space where love is not confined but nurtured, where both of you can thrive as individuals and as a team. 7. Playfulness builds connection. A quiet evening at home suddenly turns into a playful kitchen dance-off while dinner simmers on the stove. Laughter fills the room, stress melts away, and for a moment it's just the two of you, sharing a connection deeper than words. Playfulness has the power to lighten the burdens of life and remind us why we chose each other in the first place. In the hustle of daily responsibilities, it's easy to forget how much joy small moments can bring. Men, often seen as stoic or serious, crave these lighthearted experiences just as much as women. Playfulness isn't just about having fun. It's about creating a safe space where vulnerabilities can be shared and where connection becomes effortless. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you embrace playfulness, you create a space where his mind can rest, where he can let go of the external pressures and reconnect with his inner self, and with you. Playfulness doesn't require elaborate plans or grand gestures. It's found in the smallest, most organic moments. A shared inside joke, a spontaneous tickle fight, or teasing him about his favorite sports team. All these moments create emotional intimacy. They foster a sense of belonging, a reminder that your relationship is not just about enduring life together, but also about celebrating it. Consider a time when stress weighed heavily on him. Maybe he'd had a tough day at work or was dealing with a personal challenge. What if, instead of diving into a serious conversation or offering solutions, you lightened the mood with humor? Perhaps a silly comment or a playful gesture reminded him that life's difficulties don't always need to feel so heavy. These moments don't just distract, they heal. Now think of an example. You're both exhausted from a long day, and the mood feels tense. Instead of retreating into silence, you nudge him with a mischievous smile and say, "Whoever loses this arm wrestling match does the dishes." The tension breaks, laughter follows, and suddenly the energy shifts. These seemingly trivial interactions are, in reality, profound acts of connection. Playfulness also reinforces a man's sense of confidence. When he sees that he can make you laugh or smile, it affirms his role as someone who brings joy to your life. It's a subtle but powerful reminder of the bond you share. At the same time, playfulness nurtures your own emotional well-being. As adults, we often carry the weight of responsibilities without pause. But moments of shared laughter remind us of our youthful, carefree selves. They allow you to see each other not just as partners navigating life's challenges, but as two people capable of immense joy and connection. Even in the philosophy of Stoicism, often viewed as serious, there's room for lightness. Seneca reminds us, life, if well lived, is long. A life well lived isn't just about resilience and purpose, it's also about moments of levity that make the journey worthwhile. To weave playfulness into your relationship, start with small, intentional acts. Surprise him with an unexpected joke, initiate a game you both enjoy, or relive a memory that made you laugh uncontrollably. The goal isn't to force fun, but to create opportunities where joy can naturally flow. Playfulness also helps bridge emotional gaps during difficult times. When words feel inadequate, laughter can become the language that reconnects you. It reminds him and you that your bond is more than the sum of your struggles. As you embrace playfulness, you'll find that it doesn't diminish the seriousness of your commitment, it enhances it. It shows that your relationship is strong enough to hold both the weight of life and the lightness of joy. These moments of fun become the glue that holds you together, creating a partnership that thrives not only on shared goals and mutual respect, but also on shared smiles and laughter. In the end, playfulness is more than just a momentary distraction, it's an act of love. It says, I see you, I enjoy you, and I choose to share this joy with you. And in those moments, life becomes not just something you endure, but something you truly cherish. Together. 8. The power of physical touch. Physical touch is more than just a gesture. It's a profound connection that transcends words. For men, touch has a unique ability to reassure, comfort, and create intimacy. In the chaos of life's demands, a gentle hand on his shoulder or a playful nudge during a conversation reminds him that he's not alone, that he is seen, valued, and cherished. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In the same way, physical touch is less about the act itself and more about the intention behind it. A simple touch can transform how he feels in a given moment, shifting his focus from external stressors to the warmth of your connection. Consider this example. He's facing a challenging situation at work, weighed down by uncertainty. Instead of asking endless questions or offering unsolicited advice, you place a reassuring hand on his back and say, I'm here for you. This silent yet powerful gesture provides the comfort he needs without overwhelming him. It says, you don't have to face this alone, fostering a sense of unity and mutual strength. Physical touch isn't just about reassurance, it's also a way to celebrate joy and deepen intimacy. A kiss on the cheek as you pass by, holding hands during a walk, or a playful poke during a light-hearted moment. These acts of affection build a reservoir of positive feelings that strengthen your bond over time. It's important to recognize that physical touch resonates differently with everyone. For some men, a hug after a long day is the ultimate comfort. For others, a gentle brush of hands during a shared laugh means everything. Understanding his preferences and responding to them thoughtfully shows that you value not just his needs, but also the unique ways he connects emotionally. Men often find it difficult to express their vulnerabilities through words, but physical touch provides a safe alternative. A supportive gesture in times of emotional strain can convey understanding and acceptance without the need for elaborate explanations. For example, if he's quiet after receiving bad news, sitting beside him and holding his hand can say, I'm with you, in a way no words can match. The power of physical touch is also in its ability to heal emotional wounds. When conflicts arise, reaching out physically can bridge gaps that words alone cannot. A heartfelt hug after an argument signals reconciliation and reminds both of you that your connection is stronger than any disagreement. However, the importance of intentionality cannot be overstated. Touch that feels routine or mechanical loses its impact. To truly harness its power, focus on being present in the moment. When you hold his hand, let it linger. When you embrace him, do so with genuine care. Authenticity in physical touch amplifies its emotional resonance, making it a profound tool for connection. Seneca wisely noted, "No man can live a happy life if he turns everything to himself." Physical touch, when given selflessly, embodies this Stoic principle. It's not about fulfilling your own need for affection, but about creating a space where both of you feel supported and valued. In the end, physical touch is more than a simple act of affection. It's a bridge between two hearts, a reminder of the bond you share, and a quiet promise that no matter what life brings, you'll face it together. These gestures, no matter how small, have the power to transform ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, leaving both of you feeling connected, loved, and understood. Let the power of touch be a cornerstone in your relationship, not just as an expression of love, but as a testament to the unspoken understanding and deep intimacy that defines your connection. 9. Validation fuels confidence. Every man, no matter how strong or self-assured he appears, carries a quiet desire for validation. It's not about feeding his ego, but affirming his worth, showing him that his efforts, strengths, and presence are recognized and appreciated. In relationships, validation is the cornerstone of emotional connection, creating an environment where confidence and trust can thrive. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." For men, the validation they receive from their partner shapes their inner dialogue, reinforcing their sense of self-worth and motivating them to rise to life's challenges. Validation doesn't require grand gestures. It's found in the simplest, most sincere acknowledgments. A word of appreciation, a thoughtful comment, or even a moment of silent admiration can speak volumes. These affirmations remind him that his actions matter, and that the role he plays in your life is irreplaceable. But true validation goes beyond surface-level compliments. It's about recognizing his unique strengths and contributions, not just what he does, but who he is. Whether it's his problem-solving skills, his sense of humor, or his resilience during tough times, shining a light on these qualities lets him know he's valued in ways that extend beyond the tangible. Validation is most powerful when it feels genuine. Men, like anyone, can sense insincerity. Instead of offering generic praise, focus on specific moments where his actions made a difference. This level of attentiveness shows that you truly see him, creating a deeper emotional bond. This form of recognition aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what truly matters. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By affirming his existing qualities and achievements, you help him focus on the strengths he already possesses, fostering gratitude and contentment within himself. Validation also serves as a bridge during moments of vulnerability. Men are often reluctant to show their insecurities, fearing judgment or rejection. A well-timed affirmation can provide the reassurance they need to open up, fostering this space where emotional safety flourishes. In addition, validation strengthens the foundation of mutual respect in a relationship. When you take the time to acknowledge his efforts and accomplishments, you encourage a cycle of admiration and gratitude. This mutual exchange creates a relationship dynamic where both partners feel valued and empowered. However, validation is not about avoiding accountability. Respect and admiration can coexist with honest conversations about growth and improvement. Encouraging him to strive for his goals while recognizing his progress shows that you believe in his potential. The power of validation is not only in its ability to boost confidence, but also in its capacity to deepen intimacy. When a man feels seen and appreciated, he's more likely to share his dreams, fears, and vulnerabilities. This openness creates a profound connection, strengthening the emotional fabric of the relationship. In relationships, small acts of recognition have far-reaching effects. A kind word can inspire him to face challenges with renewed determination. A simple thank you can remind him that his presence makes a difference. These moments, though fleeting, have the power to transform how he views himself and his role in your life. Ultimately, validation is an act of love. It's the choice to see the best in someone, to honor their efforts, and to remind them of their worth. For men, this recognition is more than just uplifting. It's a source of strength, confidence, and connection. By offering validation with sincerity and intention, you nurture a relationship built on trust, admiration, and enduring mutual respect. As you reflect on this, remember that your words have the power to shape his world. In every affirmation, you're not just acknowledging who he is, but also encouraging the man he's striving to become. Through validation, you create a partnership where both of you feel valued, supported, and inspired to grow together. As we conclude this journey, let's reflect on the truths we've uncovered about the emotional complexities of men. Respect, emotional safety, the need to feel valued, and validation. These are not just desires but essential building blocks of their confidence, connection, and happiness. Understanding these aspects isn't just about improving your relationship, it's about fostering a partnership rooted in authenticity, mutual growth, and deep respect. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. In relationships, this beauty is found in the little things. The laughter you share, the quiet moments of touch, and the reassurance of words that affirm, you are enough. By embracing these truths, you're not only offering him the emotional support he needs, but also creating a foundation where both of you can thrive together. Now, it's your turn to join the conversation. What insights resonated with you the most? Have you experienced the transformative power of respect, playfulness, or validation in your relationships? Share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. By sharing, you might inspire someone who needs these lessons as much as you did today. Together, we can build connections that aren't just strong, but profoundly meaningful. Relationships that honor the vulnerabilities and strengths that make us human. Let this be a reminder. Love flourishes in understanding, respect, and care. And when nurtured, it creates a bond that no challenge can break.